So what's going on, everybody? Just wanted to touch on a subject that I'm quite sure we're all familiar with, and that's people not wanting to work. I went to Popeyes the other day, and for some odd reason, every time, I don't care if it's Popeyes, if it's Rallies, Checkers, whatever is in your area, um, it always seems like that people don't want to work. So, the reason why I say Popeyes, Rallies, and Checkers, because I was in Popeyes the other day, and I asked them, I said, I need 4 apple pies. They was like, oh, it's going to be 20 minutes on apple pies. Do you still want them? I'm hungry. I'd be like, yeah, I still want them. They get mad because they have to cook a pie. Man, they'll give you them long times because they hoping that you'll just say no and run off and they don't have to do it. They'll have the shit in the back. And some of you restaurant owners that own some of these places, some of these restaurants, y'all should be paying attention to your product. If you got a product that you see that you're not selling on your list, you might want to check your workers, because I'm quite sure a lot of that stuff is going to waste. Either that or some of that stuff might even be freezer burning. I don't know, wherever y'all keep it at. But yeah, like I said, I went in Popeyes. I told them, I said, I want 4 apple pies. And they was like, oh, it's a 20-minute wait on pies. Do you still want them? I said, yes. So then turn around, the dude at the cash register said something to the lady in the drive-thru, and she must have said something slick, but I was still waiting on them pies. I mean, the thing is, if you're going to get a job, some people get a job and don't want to work. Stay at home. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you ain't doing society no good anyway. Stay your ass at home. It don't make no sense people get a job don't want to work. I mean, hell, how else you gonna survive out here unless you just plan on being on welfare or something, I mean, I know some situations can't be helped, especially if it's like a woman that has a kid or something, but I mean, it's things like that you gotta take into consideration, you know what I'm saying, when you out here doing what you do. And to make somebody else's life miserable because you don't want to work. And I tell you another thing, I don't like some of these jobs that like to, the supervisor's always on your ass about you not working, yet he's got his buddy over there that's not doing nothing either. I'm one of them type of people, and I've done told my supervisors this, I'm not outworking him. I am not outworking him. So if he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, don't expect me to pick up the slack, because I'm not. That don't make no sense. I'm not outworking him and we making the same thing. You see what I'm saying? I am not doing it. So some of y'all need to get your act together. That's like another job I used to work at. I used to work at a company, and I was there for 7 years and a month. And everything was cool. Everything was all right, Then turn around. As soon as that company moved its locations, it's like everybody changed. It's like they changed locations and everybody changed. They went from being some of the best people in the world to work for to some of the worst, someplace you wouldn't even want to look at. They're running through employees left and right, and they got one guy over there that's a complete dickhead, and I'm going to say that. I'm hoping he sees this video. He is a complete dickhead, but he used to not always be like that. He used to be one of the best people in the world to work for. As a matter of fact, I know every city has this top so many numbers best company to work for, like top 5 best companies to work for, top 10 to work for in the city or whatever. This company at one point in time, they didn't never have to beg for that top position, because we would have voluntarily been like, oh yeah, this is the best place you could ever want to work for. They didn't even have to beg for that. Now, what they do, whenever they have one of their meetings, they'll give everybody the paperwork right there in the meeting and make you fill it out right there in front of them. Me, I never filled it out. I would have back in the day, but I wouldn't now. And what's really crazy is they're actually one of the highest paying companies in this area. And the only reason being is because the supervisor's a jerk. Straight dickhead for no reason at all. Just nasty attitude and everything. And I'm like, that's a damn shame that y'all have to raise the rates to keep people there, and you still can't keep people there because the boss is a dickhead. And what's really bad about it is the owners of this company, he's so in tight with the owners that he's done so much underhanded shit right underneath their nose, and it's done cost them money, and they not even paying it no attention. They just like, oh well, I guess they feel like he can't do them no bad, but it's gonna bite him in the ass one day. That's like when I had got demoted. As y'all can see, I'm a truck driver, but they had demoted me right around the time of the Breonna Taylor protest, and I had got shot at right before I got demoted. I got shot at and got demoted on this same job. And the supervisor told the guys under him, no matter how bad you need a lowboy driver, don't put him back in the truck. They demoted me down to a dump truck. So I'm like, all right, whatever, And so I was like, man, I know it's time for me to find a job because they had me making anywhere between $230 to $410 a week, and that ain't enough money to survive on. I mean, it just depends on where you live at, but I mean, $230 or $410 a week, no, I couldn't do it. So I ended up finding another job, of course, and this supervisor, man, like I said, they had to raise their rates to keep people there, and it's crazy because turn around, they raised their rates to keep people there, and they still can't keep nobody there. People are still quitting. So, I mean, here's the thing. If you got people continuously running in and out of your place, they come in, they find a job, and the next thing you know, they turn around and quit. And I hope the owners of this company see this. This could be for anybody. But if you got people constantly quitting your place, you might need to check your staff, your supervising staff. Don't sit there and be like, well, damn, we can't keep nobody here. Don't nobody want to work. No, it ain't the fact with some people that actually want to work. It ain't the fact that they don't want to work. They just don't want to be around that dickhead. So, therefore, you might need to check your supervising staff because sometimes it ain't the people. Hell, I have to say that at this particular company, it was me and a few other guys, and we was all on lowboy side, and like a lot of the guys said, they had the best lowboy crew they could have ever had. They let one guy come in there and change everything pretty much. He started lying on people, lying to people. You'd ask him for the GPS to get to certain places, and he would be trying to tell the stuff to you. And then you get out on the job hours later, the supervisor out on the job's like, man, where have you been at? And I'm like, man, I said, I was trying to find out how to get here. He said, well, he didn't give you the GPS. I said, no, he was telling us how to get here. He said, well, I gave him the GPS. I said, yeah, and I asked him just to give me an address. I said, give me an address, man, so I can get on out there. And he wouldn't tell you the supervisor on the job anything. So you just go out there basically in the blind, and that ain't the way to drive no truck. When it comes to truck driving, and that's another thing too, when it comes to truck driving, I don't know what it is, but if you're dispatching or you're in a position where you're telling a truck driver where to go, the driver needs as much information as possible. The driver needs as much information as possible. To give him half-assed directions or have him guesstimating where he need to go. Shit, I worked at FedEx, and there was a guy telling me I need to turn by a water tower and go down this road, and then you'll see a racetrack. I'm like, how about some street names? Just give me an address. Give me something. You know what I'm saying? Let me look this up and determine where I need to go. I don't need to be out there trying to guess where I need to go. Like, oh, okay, I need to turn right here. And I done pass it up, and then next thing you know, I end up in a bad situation. I don't know, but I don't know what's going on, people. But like I said, man, as far as running a company goes, I know I'm skipping around with a lot of stuff, but as far as running a company goes, basically what it boils down to is don't be a dickhead to your staff. If you got people that are working for you and they good to you, man, give back to them. Do something for them. Don't sit there and be a jerk to them and, you just out of the blue, you got attitude. And I tell you another thing that really fuck up a lot of work And that's people's home life. Because this guy used to fall out with his wife. He'd bring his attitude to work. I've been on a couple of jobs like that. He'd bring that shit to work, you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, everybody else had to suffer because he's pissed off at her. Well, I'm not at home fucking you. I don't give a damn what's going on at home, but whatever you got going at home, you need to leave it at home. Don't bring that shit to work with you. You see what I'm saying? The same way, if you going through some shit at work, don't bring it home to your wife. Don't bring it home to your kids. Don't bring it home to your family. I mean, if you're going through something, you're going through something. Everybody go through something, but that don't mean you have to take it out on somebody that ain't done shit to you. Well, anyway, I'm getting ready to get off of here. I got to get back to work. I'll see you in the next episode.